Hey everybody, today I wanted to veer off my usual, so I'm not going to do a Bible study today, but I had a very specific reason why I wanted to veer off, and I'm going to call it kind of a little impromptu, even though it's not totally, it's a little bit. So I wanted to talk today about the fact that it looks like our world is heading into a very, very dangerous time. And it does resemble very much the four horsemen of the apocalypse. So whether you believe, that the rapture is going to happen before that or not, you can still pay attention to the fact that as we near the time of the tribulation, we're going to see the signs of that time, I think. And so today, I'm going to talk about the horsemen, and I'm going to compare it to some things that I think are relevant. So the four horsemen are, of course, you have the white horse, which is a horse that resembles, it kind of is symbolic for peace, and it is symbolic for being deceptive as well, because it imitates Jesus when he comes in Revelation chapter 19. He too comes on a white horse. So the Antichrist is almost having the appearance of a Messiah or a Savior, even though he's against God. So he's a man that people will place their trust and their faith in. Hello, Theo. And unfortunately, we tend to do that with people more often than what we should. But this guy here, we will trust him so much that he will make a peace treaty, and we will believe that we're going to finally have that coveted peace, right? So, and the next one will be the red horse, which it takes peace from the earth and people kill each other, which you'll see how this is going to fit in very simply. It makes perfect sense. And the black horse, which of course is food inflation. That's one of the more known horses, because today with what we're living, we have our food prices are crazy and people are really struggling with inflation. But in the pale horse, the rider is death, and he's given authority over 1/4 of the earth to kill with the sword, famine, pestilence, and wild beasts. Now, what's interesting about that is he's given authority over 1/4 of the earth. But does that mean that he's necessarily killing 1/4 of the earth? I'm not sure. So anyway, as far as the food thing goes, I've been watching prophecy for years and years and years, decades, and I have seen inflation rise and fall in several parts of the world. You see it in the US, you'll see it in other countries, but I've never seen global inflation like we see now with food. And not just to mention the food inflation, but the fact that our food stocks are down. We don't have food stored up in the world like we did because of things like drought and inflation and war. That's a New York Times article is talking about war and inflation, drought are hitting global food supplies. So due to all of these things, like a perfect storm coming together, you have the weather conditions, you have inflation, and you have war, especially the one in Ukraine. It's impacting our food supplies and our food stockpiles globally. So this is going to be a problem down the road. And then you look at water scarcity. And this is something that's not just, isolated to one country or another, one region or another. This is a global problem. This water scarcity is affecting Asia, Europe, the US. It's affecting, all over the world. So, and to the point that, water scarcity can cause wars. So that's something that we need to be aware of, that, when you have food prices going up and you have water scarcity, you're creating a storm for war. It's a well-known fact that those variables cause wars. And they cause commotion. You know, in Matthew chapter 24, it talks about commotions, global commotions. And here we are, you know, with the food and the water situation. And then you look at wars, you know. We've had issues with Russia and Ukraine that it looks like it's going to spill over into Europe. They're warning the doctors and nurses in Europe, you know, prepare for war. They're warning their citizens, get food, get the things that you need, be prepared for war, because there's something in the works there. And then you have possible U.S. against Venezuela, and it could roll into Mexico. So the U.S. could be going to war against South America, basically. We don't know yet. And then you have Israel, Hamas, and the Houthis, Iran, and Hezbollah, and all of them over there, all of this turmoil, a world in turmoil. I mean, it is crazy. Have you ever seen anything like it? Because, you know, I have not seen anything like this. But, you know, and then I got to thinking, isn't it strange too, that we have all of these peace treaties? So in the last 6 months, our president has decided that he's going to make up, you know, and get together with these people that are bickering, India, Pakistan, Azerbaijan, and Armenia, Republic of Congo, Rwanda, Iran, and Israel, Cambodia, and Thailand. And he has created several ceasefires and treaties between these countries. So you can see how this, you know, all of these peace treaties out there, and he's trying to create more peace treaties between Israel and their neighbors and all of these Arab countries, and, you know, trying to stop Russia and Ukraine. And there's this cry for peace. And there's this, you know, war. Just like with the Horsemen of the Apocalypse, you have the white horse of peace, and then the next horse, he takes peace from the earth. So apparently there's this period of time when people believe that they have peace, but the time that the second horseman rides, that's when everything breaks apart. And we have nothing but murders. So, I mean, if you really look at the whole scenario, we have set the stage, and we have the perfect storm right now, globally, not just regionally, for the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. And if I were to guess, I'd say soon we will probably see some kind of peace treaty between Israel and their neighbors. So we should, my whole goal in this is to encourage people to get ready. Make sure that you're ready, get food together, get supplies together, and most importantly though, be ready, have your lamps full, and make sure that you know the Lord, make sure you're ready, because he's coming. And I hope to see you soon. Bye.